Chap, are you in your 40s?
I'm 41
What?
this year. Yeah,
No.
41.
Okay, so
Yeah, Chad's much older than me.
Yeah, no, it's like an ancient.
it's just nice to have 75% of this group in their 40s now.
Yeah, well, Luke's barely in his 30s, for fuck's sake.
You got to keep the average age down in everything. That I
Yeah,
do.
you're dragging the scoring average right down. It's like Thursday afternoon at the US Open.
And you look young and fresh. You look like when the hobbits come out of the Shire at the beginning of the movie. Like you're looking
Yeah.
so fresh and shiny.
Yeah, if Frodo was a hacker, he'd be you.
Golf hacker.
Yeah.
Okay, settle down.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Episode 3, fresh off the back of the most underwhelming US Open in recent memory at a venue that failed to live up to its hype. Yeah, this pod is about bold calls and bold people and big, bold beards. So congratulations to the majority of you that are able to sport those things and bold hats. 2 visors and Trav rocking the, probably like a shout out to Xander Schauffele, the Addy three stripes.
Correct. Well, I mean, it was the only one. It's the easiest one I could find. My objective is to try and have a different one every week. So if there are any club managers listening, let me know. Pop a few through. I'm currently sporting a Lynx one, but I'll take anything really.
Yeah, that's quite a sick one. Matt Knight, your visor is pretty majestic.
Thank you. Luke and I are here celebrating a very, very special figure in the world of men's golf, Mr. Keith Mitchell. More on that later, but we are representing the big lids with overflowing hair because we have overflowing hair, like everybody else on this pod.
Absolutely.
It's good. It's good for the hairline as well if there's a lack of one, because it covers quite a substantial amount.
Yeah, but the issue is not so much that it's the back that's problematic. I don't think there's a lid on earth.
Just lift your head up slightly, and then it's cool.
This barely does the job. Walk around like this the whole time. Not a good look at all.
Okay, you guys are getting completely off topic. The topic is the US Open. You guys made some ridiculous calls last week, so I'll let you defend yourselves because it's not the best major of the year, and it's not even close to being the best major of the 4.
Yeah, look, it's a tough week, I think, for anyone that can hold 2 thoughts in their head at the same time. It is.
I can't even hold one.
It was simultaneously quite hard. I mean, it is, according to like the records that I can find, the 4th hardest major of the last 5 years. So it wasn't easy. Could it have been harder? Yes. Could I have done without the syringing? Absolutely. Could we have had a better winner? For sure. I think there were way too many variables that were artificially injected by the USGA, which didn't help. I think if they'd let the course be the course, it might have been a very different story. But yeah, overall, as you say, Wade, just a little bit underwhelming. I kind of walked away from it going a little bit like Tiger's career, like shit, what could have been? Had we avoided a couple of pitfalls along the way.
Syringing the green definitely did not help, but I wonder if they hadn't, the carnage, I think the winning score would have been plus 100. So, you could kind of see why they had to keep control of the surfaces. My big takeaway and disappointment is the fact that it's so hard to get there for fans that so many were leaving before the event was over to catch the trains and whatever back to wherever they. Yeah, so that for me was the biggest disappointment because the heckling was severe on Sunday, and who knows how bad it would have been if there were another 10,000 more Wyndham Clark haters.
I can't believe a US guy, like a bona fide, loves the USA, like Ryder Cup, wore the US ice hockey jersey in Canada to rile everyone up, was like booed by his home fans. It felt like it was a European oak winning it, man. It was a little bit rough, eh?
Well, yeah, I do feel like it's a bit of a weird one. Again, 2 thoughts in your head at the same time. Is Wyndham Clark a massive bellend? Yes, absolutely. Was he worthy of that degree of heckling? Probably not. It did feel like it got a little bit out of hand. That said, I think it's also it's a bit of an indictment on New York fans in general. I mean, they were a disgrace
100%.
at Bethpage. They were horrendous yesterday, and it wasn't even funny. Most of it was just get in the bunker, which it was just, yeah, not great. There were obviously a lot of sort of Scotty partisans there, which is fair enough. The man's going for the Grand Slam. He's number one golfer in the world. But yeah, as you say, just very surprising they didn't rally behind him a little bit more. Not disappointing. I think it probably, yeah, probably held him back a little bit, which I think is made for a slightly better finish. But yeah, in the main, just a very, very weird weekend.
I saw a statement from him. I don't know if it was in the press conference afterwards or just in a general interview, but he did say that he expected it from them because of everything that had happened. I don't know if he used the word justified, but he said it wasn't unexpected, and again, he's still sorry for everything that he did. So
anytime you got to stand up and in front of a bunch of people with a mic in front of you and go, listen, Oaks, I'm actually not an arsehole. I'm a really nice guy. Trust me. I think you've probably set off on the wrong foot there. I mean, you wouldn't see a Patrick Reed apologize. Any of the real killers in golf, if that had to happen to them, they'd probably lean into it a little bit. Can imagine Paddy Reed fist bumping and flipping the bird at US fans and that 100%. Sort of thing. I think that's what makes a killer, and I don't think Wyndham's got a hell of a lot of that in him.
I think Wyndham's got to do that now, though. I think enough's enough. He's said sorry. He's paid for the locker to be fixed. He's said sorry. I think it's a bit actually offsides. And listen, I don't like Wyndham Clark. He's also a bit average. So I don't hate him either. I'm just indifferent towards him. But if I'm him, I'd be like, I said sorry. I'm not actually going to talk about last year's locker room while I'm accepting this year's US Open trophy. I'm like, no one got close to me. The only reason someone got close to me is because I kind of hit a 3-putt and everyone was abusing me, and I still won. So let's draw a line in the sand. Rory does that in press conferences. He goes, "I'm not talking about it," and that's that. Scotty's even done that. So Wyndham needs to lean into that, and if he becomes the villain, so what? I mean, he's going to be playing good enough golf to get onto every Ryder Cup team now. With the points that these kind of events allow you to win.
Yeah, and I think it almost feels like a guy who's trying to figure out, it sounds weird, what he wants his public persona to be. Not hugely in the limelight, right? He hasn't featured in a lot of majors, near the end, but he's won 2. And I think he was shocked at how much poor feedback he got from not just that incident, but a few other comments and things, and now I think he was shocked that despite winning, it took a little bit to win people back. So I don't know if he quite knows what he wants to be. It'll be interesting to see whether it's a little bit more like a Sergio / Phil, a little bit petulant and very, very divisive, or if actually he goes, flip, I'm going to learn from this and try to be a genuinely better human in the way I interact with people and talk about places and think about what I'm saying a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, I must be honest, I didn't find it a dull tournament. I thought it was absolutely fascinating to watch, especially the weekend. And yeah, I think if you'd sold me beforehand the package on 4 guys under par, what are the hardest stroke averages, getting harder day by day, seeing some of the balls get ejected, not ridiculous, but and doing all of that despite not getting the win that we all thought they were going to get. Very, very hard to. I know that the Open just says good luck, whatever comes, but it felt like they were going, we are going to finish Thursday or get close to it no matter what happens win-wise, so let's get these greens playable. If you'd sold that to me beforehand and not said any names, I think I would have jumped at it. 4 guys under par, 4 guys at even, beautiful venue. Other than crowds and the name at the top, who is a bit underwhelming. I don't hate him, but I just find him a bit underwhelming as a story. I thought it was a pretty interesting weekend to watch. So I wasn't as underwhelmed as you guys.
Yeah, let me defend my position a little bit. I mean, it was supposed to be majestic. It was supposed to be, everything that it set up. And if they had just set up that course a little bit harder on Thursday, I think the whole thing would have been more wide open, and you probably find that it's Scotty versus Tommy versus maybe Sam Burns coming down the stretch. I just feel like, it's the only event where the setup is so crucial and kind of has its say. But full credit to Wyndham Clark. He did deserve it. Let me tell you that his putting, because his iron play wasn't great on the weekend. I think he hit like some of the fewest greens and regulation numbers of any winners, but his putting was majestic. His lag putting, so good. He did deserve to win it, and he opened his grape at the end of the night.
Yeah, I mean, I think, Matt, just to take it back to the points you made about the Four Oaks under par thing, I feel like that's a default position for Shinnecock. It's one of the top 3 hardest golf courses on the planet. So for that number of guys to be under par, you would expect that to be basically bare minimum. I think when you look at historically the way that it's played, it's 2004, the field average was close to 5 strokes over par. 2018, when Brooksy won, it was 4.4 strokes over par. This was playing at roughly 2.3 strokes over par as the field average. So it's like a full 2 shots. So yeah, I understand the rationale behind wanting to not lose the course on the Thursday and the Friday. But then let's crisp it up on the weekend. Let's make the guys work a little bit harder, because it just, for me, it lacked teeth. They made a big song and dance about getting the greens up to 11 on Saturday, which again is like, Rondobosch speed. But ultimately, like
on the fairway,
when you're seeing you're seeing a guy play a mid iron in and the ball's checking up, and it's like, well, what are we doing here? At some point you've got to let the beast loose, otherwise you might as well go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm happy with that.
If I was going to change one thing, it wouldn't be the way they treated the course. I would have loved to have seen it. Just imagine 11 p.m. Thursday night, watching 40-kilometer-per-hour winds and Oaks just suffering. Like, that's what was missing. Like, I really, really wish it had arrived, and it went the other way and just died. And to his credit, Wyndham in that time won it, right? I think there was that Justin Ray tweet, like, he's the only guy, both his US Open wins, his best round was the first round, and then he got progressively higher in score each day, defending a big lead, which is a tough skill to do. But I mean, I think I was having a little look at the other guys who were within like 20 minutes of him in that same wave that didn't take advantage. It's Bryson, Hovland, Fitzy, DJ, Woodland, JT, Hideki, Xander, Lowry, Rose, Spieth, Rahm, and Kante were all within 20 minutes, and none of them got out to a multiple shot lead. So credit to the Oak, and then credit to him for defending a big lead, because we've all suffered Rory pain and heartbreak of him going out to a big lead and then not defending it and kind of falling away. And so, it's a different skill thing. It is different to what I think we thought it was going to be. But I was just saying that I didn't find it underwhelming. I was actually really intrigued on the weekend.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it's a US Open. And, you've got Scotty chasing someone who is, as a storyline, not an overwhelmingly popular Oak. So, I stayed up for it for sure. I think when he started wobbling, sort of midway through the front 9, I was very invested. And then to his credit, he nailed that one par putt. I think it was on the 8th or something that kept him in it. And yeah, from there, I mean, he just didn't let go. It is. And I definitely do agree with the idea that he won it on that Thursday, because there was a whole stream of really, really good players out on that back 9 in the afternoon. They couldn't do the same thing he did.
Yeah.
And it's what is interesting as well was Joaquin Niemann, who, by all accounts, went something like 6 under for 71 holes. Without that 11, he's tired, and we've got an interesting story there as well. So, there were definitely Oaks that got ejected. But I think, as much as Wyndham managed to hold on to his lead, no one put their hand up. You look at the numbers. Sam Byrne had a good day out there, but he lost strokes off the tee. Tom Kim did Tom Kim things. Couldn't putt, couldn't chip. There just wasn't enough. It wasn't the sort of course where it's not the sort of course where you can go on those massive big runs and haul in a 6-shot lead. So yeah, I mean, all credit to him.
Okay, let's talk about one guy that was not able to get close because he didn't play on the weekend, Bryson DeChambeau. A third straight miscut, a new driver in the bag, and on the verge of making all of those he's made for YouTube golf predictions come true. I mean, anyone have any idea what's going on with Bryson DeChambeau? He sucks.
It's almost like playing against Robbie Berger is not a good warm up for golf majors. Who would have possibly thought,
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd almost equate it to, remember back in the day when Rory was heavily involved in the tour negotiations and there was all of this like live stuff and he was on the
Distraction.
player advisory. Yeah, Bryson's going to pitch meetings and talking to PE guys, and then in between that, trying to break 50 on a local muni course. He's not in any way, shape, or form focused. His irons are horrendous at the moment. Now, I mean, by the sounds of things, he's hammering away at them in his garage. So he probably needs to get a professional in there to help with the hardware. But yeah, he's just all over the place. And until he decides what it is he wants to do, I don't see him getting a hell of a lot better. He's always been the guy that works the hardest in the room, and that doesn't seem to be the case right now.
And I mean, he's stuck on 2 majors with a bunch of guys. Wyndham Clark's got 2. I mean, I'd take a bet that Wyndham Clark wins another major. Not that I think he will, but Wyndham wins
God
another major
forbid.
before Bryson. I think Bryson, he is an absolute mess. I think he needs to go back to a golf manufacturer and say, hi, can I please have a set of clubs, tinker them with a professional, like the whole do not try this at home thing. That is literally Bryson DeChambeau. Do not build your own damn clubs. Get a stock set, change your lie angles and your lofts and your whatever, and head out there and maybe a few practice rounds, maybe a few more golf tournaments, maybe take it a little bit more seriously. He does hit magnificent shots over his house into a small cup and things like that. So, I mean, he's got that for him.
But like, what club manufacturer would take him on, Wade? I mean, Cobra, by all accounts, said he was a nightmare to work with. He obviously had a TaylorMade driver in the bag this weekend and obviously wasn't playing a stock QR4D. He had some other weird thing that had been fabricated specifically for him that they had to rush to get onto the conforming list. I just think he's very difficult, and I don't think it's necessarily, yes, when you're playing a 46-inch wedge, it's probably not going to help your game. But at the same time, that's worked for him at Pinehurst. It made it, he played some magnificent short shots there. I think it's just a pure lack of focus at this point. You're trying to prop up this dying thing on your back. And then in between that, do what you really want to do, which is make content. So, yeah, I just think he needs to take it back to basics. He's got too many spinning plates, and I don't think that he's mentally equipped to handle that many things going on at once.
He's got too much on his plate, and could you actually say it's probably burnout? I mean, he's been doing it for so long, doing all of these things at the same time, and he's managed to maintain it. But there comes a time in everyone's life where you mentally, your brain's fried. So, I mean, he's made enough money on all the tours and live, and is it time for maybe a reset or a break per se, and relook at everything and see if he can come back and start afresh?
I love it. I think a bit of a breakaway, or can I throw out a really left field take here? I think the guy needs to get married to a strong-willed woman who's able to hold up the mirror and go, Bryson, do you listen to yourself? Because it feels like he's the guy. I mean, Lord knows, I love a tinker on the golf course. Like, I love watching whatever Padraig Harrington's up to and the new training aid, the new club, the new thing. But it feels like he's only able to go, look at what I did that worked, and I credit that as like my genius, and unable to go, I'm over tinkering, I'm being a bit silly here, I need to go back to the drawing board. It's always incapable of going, I'm getting this wrong. It's like, oh, something must be wrong with the alloy that I'm using, or something's wrong with my caddy's advice, or the wind measurement was wrong. It's never flip, I'm messing around too much here. And I think, that's what a good wife does, is goes, hey, let me just help you understand that you're not perfect, and maybe you should just look in the mirror a little bit. And I think it would help him tremendously.
Might be the best shots in the history of the pod.
And then Bryson gets his 10 majors,
Oh, imagine. No, I don't know how happy I'd be about that. I think let's cap him at 4. He's got a talent level that would put him in that kind of 4 major class. The thought of Bryson with 10 majors is really difficult for me to cope with.
No, I don't think the jokes gained wife was that big. I was just joking,
Yeah.
But he needs some self-reflection, man.
He does.
But
someone to do is reflecting for him.
But that is something that we'll talk about next week. We'll just talk about majors, who's got how many, and that kind of thing. Because Wyndham Clark getting to 2 was a bit of a bone in contention in the WhatsApp group in prep, because getting to 2 majors is a lot better than a ton of golfers who've been ranked number 1 in the world. It puts you on par with, the guys we mentioned, like Greg Norman and Bernard Langer and Ben Crenshaw, like some out and out guys that have been regarded as kings of the game.
Yeah, huge names.
And now you're going to get to, 3, 4 is plenty. 4 is, again, we go back to Ernie Els, 4 majors. Ernie Els, a bona fide damn king of the game of golf. Like 4 majors is incredible, and all the stuff he won on the DP World Tour. I wonder if we're going to see guys like Justin Thomas, Xander Schauffele, are any of them going to get to 4? 4 is a big number. 5 is massive. How the hell Brooks Koepka did it in such record time is quite incredible. But now let's talk about the visors and why, Matthew, you decided to rock that visor.
Well, not just me. I've been joined by my auspicious partner, Luke. Luke's hair's bumping out over the top there. 2 wonderful Keith Mitchell stats. First of all, can I start with a question? Do you know how many top 10s Keith Mitchell has in majors? Other stats?
2, probably 2.
1.
1?
Yes,
He's played in
goddamn.
16 and he's only made a cut in half. He's a non-factor. He might be the worst putter of this. He might be worse than all 4 of us at putting. But man, the guy is stylish. And
What?
does he ever represent a big lid? Yes, he does. So the 2 little stats from the US Open. He was 11 over after the front 9 on Thursday. 11 over 41. It's unbelievable. And then went back down 29. First time it's ever happened that much of a gap under 30 over 40 in any major. But I played with a guy at Kloof a few weeks ago who went 49-37 and a 12-shot difference. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. So to do that, and then the other impressive stats is the only guy in US Open history, I think, to shoot even par 4 days in a row. So we just wanted to break out a little bit of the chest cleavage, Luke. Give them a little low pan.
Tip of the visor, surely. Yeah, and
Tip of the visor,
has to be.
a little bit of hair flowing over, and say, we love Keith Mitchell. We can't wait to see him miss the cut in 4 weeks' time at the British Open.
Yeah.
Had you brought up the Keith Mitchell thing, because according to Google, which everyone uses these days, he was best dressed on the Thursday. Tommy was up there as well, hence I've gone the cardigan route as well for Tommy.
Very good. Very good.
I don't know, there was also a worst dressed category, and Victor Hovland was wearing some very fancy, it reminded me of bananas in pajamas. And for those people who are slightly younger than us, just have a Google and you'll see what we mean.
I don't know how much money they pay him to wear that kit, but I mean, typically, he had that like weird Minecraft pixelated pink thing at the Masters as well. Just a smorgasbord of bad fashion choices for Victor. Typically, I don't know what Jay Lindbergh does to get him into that stuff, but gee whiskers, he looked like he'd just come off a split shift at Spur on that Saturday. It was tough.
Does the angry music make Hovland dress bad, or does he dress bad because of the angry music? I don't know, like which way around it's supposed to be, but like I don't know what came first, the bad music or the bad dressing, because they work beautifully together. But Jason Day is stuck on 1 major and stuck on 1 bad pick so far. Luke Ellis, you said that Schauffele would miss the cut. The guys made 15 straight or 10 straight top 15. So awful pick.
Yeah. And also my fairy tale ending for Adam Scott ended on Friday instead of Sunday. So that was also a bit of a disappointment on my side. So not all round picks wise, not a good weekend.
Yeah.
For me.
I mean, he's just one big switch away from being right twice, right? Xander in the top 10 and Adam misses the cut. So close.
Exactly.
Golf better.
I got 2 of my other picks right though. So
yeah, you've got to take big swings, Nuki. I thought it was wonderful.
It was a cheap shot.
You.
Our 4 miscut picks were Rory, Bryson, Xander, and Bryson again, right? Or Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
Like those are pretty good calls. Like we're not messing around here. We're not going, oh, we think one of the amateurs or PGA pros will miss the cut. Like we put ourselves out there.
No, we did. We might not know who's good, but we know who's cuck. So that's something.
3 of us.
Listen, did you watch Rory yesterday? I mean, that was particularly good viewing. He didn't know his arse from his elbow. He was putting wedges right. He was putting wedges left. It was beautiful.
We're just conserving energy for Royal Birkdale. He's already there mentally.
Yeah.
He's 4 weeks ahead of the rest of the field, plotting his way around Royal Birkdale. He's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he'd sort of quiet quit by Saturday afternoon. He had very little interest in being there yesterday.
Did anybody get any picks right?
Yeah, can I talk us through some accountability here? A little bit of a list.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the wins, I've gone white dot for pretty close ticks and crosses. So the wins were picked Tommy, as did Travis, and he got a T11, so white dots. Wade, you went Xander, also T11, white dot. Luke, you went for someone called Scott Adams, who I haven't heard of before, but he missed the cut, so that wasn't great.
A
Top
Red
10s
Cross
and
for me.
20, yeah, the Red Cross, yeah, all the way to the Red Cross Hospital there in Rondebosch. T10s and 20s, I went Tam Burns. He's having a fantastic time at things, and I think he's going to get one soon. He was T2. I also went Gotterup, who was 43, so he was out the mix. Jackson Coyven, Luke, great shout there, T23, and it was really fun to watch him get around there. And then Akshay at T17. Trav, you went Jordan Spieth, who finished T56, so just missed out by just the 46th places or so. And Wade went Rosie, also T11. So not bad, not bad. And then we talked about the miscuts already. Nailed a couple, missed a couple. So all in all, pretty decent start for the first bit of accountability.
Also, very weird that I actually placed physical bets on your guys, Tommy Fleetwood, and I thought some great odds, top 5 and top 10, and he was doing so well. Then you go to bed at T11, get no money back. So that was 100 Rand for her. We played golf champs as a pod 4-ball, and no
so
one's
you're
really
lagging again. Wait,
accountability.
the kennel with Wi-Fi is lagging. You go for a Trav?
Yeah, I can't hear you. Yeah, no. Well, no.
Can't hear what Wade's saying. Sorry, Wade.
As a silver medalist, yeah, well done, Wade. What does that put us at in our sort of head-to-head for the year? I think we even Steven.
Wait, were you silver? I thought I got second. Did I fall out a second?
No, you fell out a second. There was a chap in a different pool I played in who finished at plus 68 for the weekend. Horrendous avalanche of bad decisions. Very enjoyable. I won't shout his name out for popular reasons, but it was very bad.
But he is a member at Glendower. We can say that.
He's a member.
So we won't say which one.
A member at Parkview. So yeah.
This weekend must have been the highest scores probably that Golf Champs has probably seen. If not
Since
ever.
the last time they were at Shinnecock, right? The 2018 one would have been also same story.
So my plus 35 doesn't actually feel so bad at the end of it.
It is though. It might not feel bad,
horrific.
but it is. Yeah.
Yeah. It's something like 5 times as bad as my score. But anyway,
it's not a good start because that is the first Golf Champs that I think I've ever played. So it can only get better, hopefully.
Hey, you top 5'd in a major, bro. That's all you need to know. You came fourth. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Little yellow square on Wikipedia. No green square.
Thanks.
Yellow square, whichever one.
Yeah. I would like to say though, guys, as a sort of mea culpa, I would like to renounce and recant the US Open as my favorite major. I think it's we've reached a point now where the USGA tries to control the outcome and the conditions too much for us to ever get one of those Camp Staldrak kind of opfok US Opens that we used to get back in the day. And for that reason, I would like to shift my allegiance to the Open Championship going forward. I think they have the right mentality. They are prepared to let the boys suffer. They can make hay while the sun shines. But at no point do they sit there with syringes and other foolishness to try and maintain a consistent playing experience. And yeah, I think it's time to make that change. And I've no shame in admitting that I was wrong in this case. Likewise with Tommy. I don't think he's got the goods, and I don't think he'll have the goods going forward.
Boo.
I think Tommy's going to win at Birkdale.
It's just a case of whatever's in front of you. Oh, you think he's going to win at Birkdale? Oh, I like it. I think Xander's going to win at Birkdale, so we've just crossed over.
Well, Xander's definitely going to top 15 at Birkdale. We know that. As to whether or not he wins...
Someone tell Luke for his golf champ spec.
Yeah, Xander's got a high
I'm picking Adam
floor,
Scott
but
again.
a low ceiling. My God. Okay.
Oh.
Well, Your plus 35 might seem
we've
like
lost the
child play.
pod.
It's only taken us 3 episodes and we're gone.
Yeah, we need different skill levels to make this 4-ball work, so it's not so bad, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sheesh.
All right, Travis, I will accept that apology because as I have aged and I'm now in an older bracket, I accept your apology and I respect you for having the guts to make that apology, and I'm proud of you.
Thanks, man. That means a lot coming from you as a noted refusal to apology guy. But on the Tommy thing, I by no means does that mean he's not one of my favorite golfers anymore. Again, back to two thoughts in your head. I'm a huge fan of Tommy, love him to bits, Ryder Cup legend, one of the nicest swings to watch out there, and he's going to win plenty. I don't think he's got the goods to put majors away. And unfortunately, he's just, you look at certain guys that are big game hunters, and there's like a high level of variance in the way they play for the most part. If Scotty's putting well on any given week, watch out. Likewise with Rory, if his wedges are working, he's going to cook. Tommy's always hovering around that 7.5, 8 out of 10 mark, and he doesn't seem to have the variance required to step up and find that other gear.
Fair shout.
Sad times.
I think that Louis Oosthuizen was quite similar to that. He played so well just trying to be there at the back nine on every major, and that's probably a reason why he's had so many top fives and so many runner-ups. I think there's a very big difference between going out there and getting the job done, like Wyndham Clark has done twice now, like Brooks did for a good few majors, and then disappear completely. Where Louis, his Wikipedia grid looks like a thing of great beauty. And I think, you get different kind of players. I think Tommy will get to 2 majors. I think one of them will be at home and one of them will be even a US Open or maybe the Masters.
I'll be so stoked if he gets to 1. Ryder Cup legend with a single major and probably the happiest man in golf. I'd be stoked if he gets to 1. I think he will. I choose a lot, as we said earlier, but hey, that's part of the debate next week. Who's on 1 that shouldn't be? Who's on 2 that's lucky? Who underwhelmed on 2? It'll be good.
Correct. So that's something to look forward to. We will debate vigorously. Luke will do his homework, and we'll see you all again next week.
Well, just before we finish, I know we spoke about it before the pod, but we just want to wish our head podcaster happy birthday. His 40th was on Friday, I think it was. So for those watching
40.
and listening, because we are on Spotify as well. So happy birthday, Mr. Wade.
Welcome to the 40 club, bro.
Yeah, it's quite hectic. My back is sore.
Yeah, I want to also
you should
say,
take
Wade, after seeing your performance on the dance floor on Friday, it's very weird to see you with so much kit on. We had the shirt off. It was very Keith Mitchell-esque on that dance floor. It was a hell of a thing.
Yeah, that was my one breaking level 70 experience. I'll miss the cut of the next 40th. Like, and I'm dropped.
There it is.
There we go. Oh, fantastic.
Just when I thought I regained all my faculties, I just knocked over my very professional setup. But thank you. See you guys next week.